The next step in the process is to apply the calibration frames to the actual images we took of our target, or what we call the light frames. Now, since we've taken frames with different filters, we have to first, as we did with the flats, navigate to the frames of our target and separate them into folders based on the filter. So in this case, again, we have red, blue, green, and luminance, but you may have the oxygen, sulfur, and hydrogen alpha and luminance filters as well. So once you have separated them all into different folders, you are ready to now start the calibration. Applying calibration frames to the light frames is almost the exact same process we did when we applied the bias subtraction to our flats. First, you want to go up to File, Pattern Name Matching, click Enable, and then click the file to locate where you have saved. In this case, we're going to start with the red light frames, so the frames taken with the red filter. You can see at the side there it says 4 because that's how many frames we have in that folder. Now we want to make sure everything's unselected before we select Enable under Dark Subtraction and Enable under Flat Division. Now in each of these we want to make sure we have the correct file selected. So in this case, since we already have M-Bias, we have the right folder. The tricky part here though is under your Flat Division is to make sure you are selecting the right flat frame for the filter used. So as I said, we had our red, green, blue, and lum flats. We also have to match those up with the filters that are lights. So we named our mflat underscore red dot fits. That's our red flat frame, which matches up with these red lights we're calibrating. Now once we've done that, I'm going to change the name of my subdirectory to calibrated and the suffix to the file name as cal, and I'm going to hit start to let the calibration begin. Now that the red light frames are calibrated, we just have to repeat the exact same steps with the lum, red, and green filters. Perfect. Now we have all of our light frames calibrated and we are ready to move on to the next step. So you can close the CCC data processor and all the other folders and navigate to your folder where you have saved these calibrated images. So if you navigate back to your target images and then the folder where you have stored each light by filter, within that folder you will find calibrated and you'll see the 4 or depending on how many images you have taken. Now these are the images we will be using for this and the following steps. Now like we did with our calibration frames, we also need to create a master light frame. However, this process is a little bit more tricky, so we'll be going over this in the next video.